Our Portland Trail Blazers are in the midst of a very exciting Western Conference first-round series against the San Antonio Spurs. Currently, we're tied at 1, and today we've got games 3 and 4. We won the first game 105-97. Our offense certainly was not all that good, but defensively, we really stopped Victor Wembanyama, who had 32 points, but on 35 shots. Game 2, the Spurs offense finally seemed to click. They beat us 121-110 despite 34 points from Khalil Griffin, who honestly had one of the best games of his Blazer career. Wembanyama had 34 points, but he did it in a much more efficient fashion, and the Spurs really shot the ball well from 3. If you take away Zach LaVine, they would have shot close to 65% from beyond the arc, and that brings us into a pivotal stretch here with games 3 and 4, both of which are going to be on the road. And I think the X factor for us will be how our veterans perform. Anthony Simons has not played well through the first 2 playoff games. Kristaps Porzingis has been up and down. Along with that, our team has been injured throughout the entire season. For the first time since October, our roster's fully healthy. Enzo Shabazz and Ochai Agbaji are back from injury, and the entire roster is healthy. This is what the rotation's going to look like for now, and I'm not entirely sure how I want to go about it. We've got 8 guys who are very clearly worthy of playing time, and then these 3 at the end with Malachi Suleiman, Ashton Wisham, and Enzo Shabazz, all of whom are good enough to get minutes. And we're going to play them each a little bit today, but I am considering the idea of trimming the rotation, whether it's down fully to 8 or maybe to 9 or 10. I want to see those young guys make some plays in their limited opportunity today, and that'll determine how much we play them over these next few games. So let's get this show on the road. Game 3 in San Antonio. The series is tied at 1, and both teams are looking to get some momentum. A road playoff win here for the Blazers would be massive, and we'll see if they can get the job done. The Spurs are coming off a great offensive performance in Game 2. They really got clicking with the 3-ball and with Victor Wembanyama performing at a high level as the Spurs win the tip, and we are underway here in the 3rd game of the Western Conference first-round playoffs between the Spurs and the Blazers. Here's Wembanyama off the screen. Early 3 for the Spurs. Seconds into the ball game, and San Antonio's on the board to start. Shaedon Sharpe with it, guarded by LaVine. That's lunchtime for Shaedon Sharpe, and he's ready for a gourmet meal as he's in for the layup. So Portland and San Antonio each score on their opening possessions. Wembanyama battling with Porzingis. Euro step is good, and the Frenchman's got 5 early. Following San Antonio possession, LaVine off the bounce. 3, no good. He was open. That was a nice look. And LaVine's coming off a game where he went 3 for 12 from deep. Scoot Henderson, open triple is good. And we are knotted up at 5. 9-7, Spurs ahead now. Sharpe gets it over to Scoot Henderson, who looks to drive left side. Out to Sharpe. Deep 3. Buries it. The Blazers have not shot the 3-ball all that well through the first 2 games of this series, but they start 2 for 2 from the long line tonight. Marco Romano, the Italian stallion, is in for the layup, and the Spurs are back on top, now 15-12. Sharpe thinks about the shot, pump fake, looks to drive inside, gets by LaVine, and the floater is good. Shaedon Sharpe with half of the Blazers' points. He's been solid through the first 2 games, but I feel like he needs to step up, being the lead scorer of this squad, as Zach LaVine hits the triple off the screen from Sabonis, and the Spurs are ahead by 4. Darius Springer with it. He's got the mismatch, and the first-time All-Star is in for the layup, and now we're within 2. Very competitive game so far. Both offenses looking pretty strong so far, certainly encouraging for the Blazers. As San Antonio gets a mismatch, Sabonis guarded by Simons. There's nothing Anthony Simons can do there. Sabonis has got 9 inches on him. Whoa, pause. 21-16, Springer, long-range 3 for the lefty is good. Some of these 3s for the Blazers are a good 3 or 4 feet beyond the line. These are long shots. Wembanyama makes the layup over Zay Logan. I'm really curious to see how Logan plays because he's performed pretty well as the backup 5 in spurts. He loses the jump ball here against Wembanyama, but the Blazers still end up with it. And Scoot Henderson takes it himself coast to coast as he's in for the layup, and the Spurs call a timeout, trailing by 2. Now they're up by 4. 25-21. Here's Kobe White with it, guarded by Scoot. Inside for an open man. Jason Black off the cut, doubled, and he is snuffed at the rim by the rookie Ashton Wisham. On the other end, here's Scoot Henderson. Lobs it up for Darius Springer. What a play there by the Blazers on both ends. An incredible block by Wisham. Good ball movement, finished off by the lob. 25-27. Branham with it, guarded by Agbaji. And Malachi Branham is in for the dunk. Ochai Agbaji has rarely been healthy this year. He's only played 24 games, but he's back for the playoffs. Portland's hoping for a big contribution out of him. Logan was doubled. Spurs get back quickly. Scoot Henderson, though, finds the lane and is in for the dunk off the assist by Ochai Agbaji. Seconds to go now in quarter number one. Wembanyama guarded by Wisham. His shot is no good. Nice defense by Ashton Wisham is off to a good start. He gets it to Simons, out to Agbaji, who can't get it off before the end of what has been a really fun and exciting quarter so far, as the Spurs lead it 29-27. Into the second quarter, Tillman posts up on the smaller defender. He's doubled, out to White for three. It's good. Zay Logan decides to double Tillman, daring him to pass it out to the wing and for Kobe White to shoot the ball, and it works for the Spurs. Agbaji drives in, kicks it out to Khalil Griffin, who hits the line two. Griffin coming off a 34-point game two, in which he was really impressive and super efficient in doing so. Wembanyama's shot is no good. Nice defense by Porzingis. Porzingis gets it over to Malachi Suleiman. Gets it out to Khalil Griffin. Drives left side. Layup is good. And Griffin's already off to a nice start with 8 points. 32-31. Kobe White at the top of the key. Gets the screen. White, another three. Buries the hatchet. Kobe White with his second three of the quarter. And it's now 35-31. Porzingis now from deep. No good on the open three, but Griffin is there for the offensive rebound and the putback. Obviously, Darius Springer gets all the attention as our great rebounding forward, but Khalil Griffin is so good at it too, showing it there. Here is Zay Logan inside for Suleiman, but it's tipped away and stolen by LeJason Black. He gets it to Wembanyama, takes it himself. Layup is good, over two defenders, and Wemby's got 12 here in the early going. 37-33. Here comes Ochai Agbaji. Doubled, sends it over to Griffin in the corner. Pump fake, Griffin looks to drive in, and he gets the floater to go in. Heavily contested shot there by Griffin, who used his size and athleticism there to his advantage. Wembanyama's jumper over Porzingis is good, and it's a 4-point game. The Spurs have maintained control early, just as they did throughout games 1 and 2, as Griffin misses. His first miss of the entire day, but it doesn't matter. He's there with the offensive rebound and the putback. Another second chance bucket for Khalil Griffin, who's got 14 points on 7 of 8 shooting. Victor Wembanyama's shot is good. Another jumper for Wemby, who's off to a really strong first half. Griffin somehow gets it over to Shaedon Sharpe, who misses the layup. He gets his own rebound, and Shaedon Sharpe gets the second chance layup. Portland is doing a great job here on the glass offensively tonight, especially in this second quarter, although they're slow to get back on defense, and that leads to an open three for Malachi Branham. 44-41. Marco Romano with it, out to Victor Wembanyama. Drives inside, blows by Porzingis, and he is in for the dunk. Still ailing with that hip injury, but it hasn't affected him too bad. The pass is overshot and intercepted by Agbaji. Out to Sharpe. Oh, baby! Shaedon Sharpe showing off the style with the slam. 45-46 now. Ochai Agbaji open in the corner. Hits the three. And the Trailblazers take the lead. 48-46. Here's Darius Springer with it. He looks to drive inside. Layup is good for Springer. And Portland is on a roll right now. They've been really good over these last 2 minutes, really looking to make this a run as Khalil Griffin is in, sends it home with the jam, and Portland is on fire on both ends of the floor. It's not just offensively. Josh Hart, as the shot clock goes down, is blocked by Logan, but Sabonis gets it back and gets the putback just in time to beat the clock. Big play for the Spurs. They needed that one. Josh Hart, open three is good, and San Antonio quickly brings it right back within one. Now they can take the lead here at the end of the half. Open three, Branham, no good. And it looks like that'll do it for the first half. 52-51, Portland ahead. The Blazers have looked really solid over the last 3 or so minutes of the first half, but the Spurs are looking a lot better as they finish things on a 5-0 run. Khalil Griffin has picked up right where he left off from Game 2. He has been fantastic again. The Spurs don't have anyone with his combination of size and quickness who can hold up with him on the wing or penetrating inside. That's what she said. So the Spurs looking to get the lead to start the third, and they do. It's Marco Romano in for the layup. So far, not a lot of offense here in the third quarter. Only one basket in a minute and a half as the Spurs get the mismatch. Sabonis guarded by Scoot Henderson. Blazers look to get the double. That means somebody's open. Marco Romano buries the three at the top of the key. And San Antonio, they're playing really well. Currently on a 10-0 run as Wembanyama misses the open shot. Khalil Griffin with it. He's going to take it up the length of the floor himself, and he will make the layup. Fittingly, it's Griffin who stops this big run for San Antonio. So both teams go on big stretches, and we're right back at square one. Spurs lead by 2. Scoot Henderson inside with the slam over Domantas Sabonis to tie this one up at 56. Still, the Blazers' offense has been mostly bad in this third quarter. Only 4 points in the first 4 minutes as Domantas Sabonis connects on the 3 for the lead. 57-59 now. Here is Romano with it. Gets it over to Victor Wembanyama, guarded by Simons, who is well over a foot shorter. So basically, Wemby's wide open. He knows this, and he hits the 3. 5-point game. Simons, he's in for the powerful slam. And Inferno is finally on the board here. His first basket of the game. Another quiet start for Simons, who continues to be disappointing so far in the postseason. Wemby guarded by Enzo Shabazz. His first playoff minutes as a Blazer. Shabazz is someone who can play the 5, but he's also 7 inches shorter than Wemby, so it's still a mismatch. Wemby with the jumper, passes it inside now for Romano, who makes the layup, and the Spurs are really clicking here in this third quarter. They lead by 7. Portland's offense has had a hard time keeping the ball. They've had a lot of turnovers. Good dunk, though, by Ochai Agbaji. 66-61. Here's Darius Springer with it. Nice pass. Open man. It's Enzo Shabazz. His first postseason points as a Blazer, and Portland's offense now finally seems to have a little bit of the rhythm. Darius Springer with a dunk. Portland's putting on an aerospace show, and we are within 1. A trio of dunks gives the Blazers some life. Here's Romano, fadeaway, contested 3 is good. Nice shot by Marco Romano. He's had himself a nice day scoring the ball. Simons with it off the drive. Pump fake, hoping somebody gets open. Springer, wing 3 is good. Darius Springer's got a double-double, 14 and 11. He's gotten a double-double now in all 3 games here against the Spurs. As Simons loses control, another turnover from the Blazers. It continues to be a problem here in this third quarter as Marco Romano hits the jumper on the other end, and San Antonio's ahead by 3. Romano with it, guarded by Scoot, out to Domantas Sabonis for 3. The rattle's out. Shabazz hurls it up from full court, looking a little Mahomey, as that one is no good. So the Blazers' offense was pretty much a disaster in that third quarter. I think they only scored 16 points. It wasn't necessarily the efficiency that was an issue. 7 of 16 from the field. The problem was the turnovers. We had 7. And then the three-point shooting, 1 for 10. Yet we were 6 for 6 from inside the arc, 5 of which were dunks. If you take the dunks out of the picture, we went 2 for 14. So realistically, I feel like we've got to stop trying to get the 3-ball working because it's just not. Focus on getting good looks inside. Victor Wembanyama gets that one to fall. 5-point game. Darius Springer with it. He's doubled. Gets it over to Khalil Griffin. He has Springer open on the wing. His 3 is good. I know I said I didn't want to shoot a ton of 3s, but when you're that wide open, how can you say no? Springer with it. Out to Sharp. Another 3. Bang! Blazers take the lead. We're not going to shoot 3s unless you leave us that wide open. Portland with 2 3s in the first minute of the fourth after only getting 1 in the third. Kobe White gets one right back, though, and the Spurs are ahead by 2. Here is Shaedon Sharp looking for the screen. Sharp drives inside. Jumper on the move. No good. Rebound by Springer is 14th. And he is in for the putback layup. We're tied. Spurs now lead 78-76. White out to Branham. Pump fake. Top of the key. 3 is good. San Antonio leads by 5, and the Blazers call timeout. Griffin with it out to Porzingis. No good. Only 2 points today for Kristaps. Another no-show from him offensively. Romano with it on the other end. Jumper in transition is good, and the Spurs are ahead by 7. Romano out to Domantas Sabonis. Hands it off over to Branham. Another top of the key 3. That one's good. And the Spurs are up by 8. One of their biggest leads of the day. Under 5 minutes to go. Portland's got to get something moving quick. Porzingis open in the corner. Hits the line 2. And finally, Kristaps Porzingis is back on the board off of the nice pass by Khalil Griffin. 86-80. Wembanyama with it. Who else but the MVP with the ball, hits the jumper, and the Spurs maintain their lead. 8-point game. Scoot Henderson with it, has an open man inside. Khalil Griffin with a great cut off the ball. He sees that the lane is wide open, picks his spot, gets the layup. He's got a team-high 23. Wemby with a great pass for Domantas Sabonis, who makes the layup. And the Spurs are right back up by 8. At some point, the Blazers have got to dig into this lead a little bit. Pick and pop action. Porzingis 3. That one's good. Big shot for Kristaps Porzingis. And we're back within 5. Here's Romano with it. Drives inside. Nice move on Scoot Henderson. And Romano hits another one. He's got 22 tonight. Griffin, fake, out to Springer. 5 on the shot clock. Porzingis open inside. Pump fake. Layup is good. And I know I was kind of dogging on Porzingis earlier, but over the last couple of minutes, he's got 7 points. He has been clutch down the stretch as he gets the stop on Wembanyama, rebounded by Sharp on the other end. Sharp's going to take it himself. Rack to rack as he sends it down, and we are within 1 score. The Blazers have life. Romano over Scoot Henderson. No good. Big stop for Scoot. He's got a man open on the wing. Sharp, 3 for the tie. No good. Shaedon Sharp was wide open. I get that was a deep 3, but that was the golden opportunity to strike. Romano inside, no good. Another stop for the Blazers. Rebounded by Springer, his 16th. Springer takes it himself. Nobody's going to play defense on him. And his dunk brings this one within 1. 92-91 with a little over a minute to go. Grab your popcorn, folks, as Romano hits another jumper inside the restricted area. He's been so good from that range today. Sharp, pump fake, Springer thinks about the 3 for the tie, won't take it. Posts up on the defender, gets it over to Sharp. Sharp, back to Springer, out to Griffin, 8 on the clock. Griffin, guarded by Josh Hart. The Spurs not letting these guys get any room to score. Springer drives inside, gets the dunk. Portland scores, they're back within 1, but they took a lot of time off the clock there. Another Romano jumper, this one is no good. Porzingis with the rebound. Blazers can take the lead. Springer, Griffin, pump fake. Griffin is intercepted! A costly turnover as Levine ends up with it. And he is ultimately fouled by Sharp. So Khalil Griffin, who's been so good today, makes an errant pass. The Spurs get the turnover, and the Blazers are not going to foul, down by 1. So the Spurs are going to try to dribble out some clock and add to their lead. Romano, tightly guarded by Scoot Henderson. 7 on the shot clock. Romano, layup. No good. Gets his own rebound. Misses again, and the Blazers get the rebound. They'll call time. So Portland gets the timeout, down by 1, and they've got a chance to win the game with 14.6 seconds left. Normally, I would bring a guy like Anthony Simons in the game, but being that he's been so cold offensively, we're going to roll with this same 5. The strategy: just get an open shot. I don't care if it's inside the paint. I don't care if it's from 3. I don't care if we have to drain the whole clock or if we get it immediately on the possession. Get guys in motion, get guys open, and give ourselves an opportunity to score. Scoot Henderson drives it inside, takes himself for the lead! Scoot Henderson dunks it on Wembanyama to put the Blazers up by a point. Now the Spurs are still going to have plenty of time to run a play here and go for the win. We presume that they're going to go after Wembanyama, but that may not be the case. We're going to bring in our defensive lineup. Malachi Suleiman in the game for Scoot Henderson. We've got to focus on them giving the ball to Vic and not letting him get an easy look inside, but watch out for Victor Wembanyama to possibly pass the ball out if somebody's open. We saw this happen in the regular season game between these two teams. Victor Wembanyama was doubled, passed it out to Josh Hart, who was wide open for 3, and the Spurs win the game. So they're going to give it to Zach LaVine here, not Wembanyama. LaVine with it. Looks for some room. Nobody's in motion, really. Gets it to Romano for the win. No good! Blazers win Game 3, 95-94, as Victor Wembanyama does not touch the ball on the final possession of the game. LaVine hangs out at the top of the key for about 5 seconds. Nobody gets open, so Romano has to heave up a 3. It doesn't fall, and the Trailblazers lead this series 2-1 in the backs of a defensive slugfest, with both teams scoring under 100 points. Still a strong game, though, from Wembanyama, 29 points. Solid enough efficiency. I don't get why they didn't give him the ball at the end, though. Romano, 24 points on 24 shots, but he still had a solid game nonetheless. The Spurs just didn't make big shots when they needed to at the end of the game, and that was their downfall. 23 points for Griffin. He was super efficient again, as was Darius Springer, who also had 16 boards. Sharp was solid, but we need the efficiency to go up. Scoot Henderson was a little quiet, but he had the big dunk. Porzingis as well. Quiet, but he made some big plays late, and for that, I think he deserves a pass. The perimeter shooting still is a problem, though. It started off well in the first quarter, but then it really went downhill from there. We've got to shoot the three ball better if we want our offense to really flourish. Going into Game 4, I think I want to try out the 8-man rotation. Suleiman, Wisham, and Shabazz were all pretty solid, I feel like. I mean, Suleiman had the game-winning defensive stop at the end when Romano missed the three. But I feel like part of the reason why our offense struggled is that we didn't necessarily have a consistent flow within our rotations. So sticking with the 8 guys who I'm most comfortable with as shot creators and 3-level scorers, I think is going to give our offense the best chance of succeeding. And I think most of these guys, not all of them, but most of them are good enough defensively to where I don't think we're going to run into any major issues despite not having those 3 great defenders getting much playing time. If we need defensive stops, we're definitely going to bring in Malachi Suleiman. We might even bring in one of the other 2 bigs. But I want to try out the 8-man rotation and see what it looks like. Wembanyama and Porzingis meet for the tip. It goes to Porzingis, and we are underway here in Game 4. The Blazers, coming off a game winner from Scoot Henderson in Game 3, have an opportunity to take a 3-1 series lead. Winning both on the road would be gigantic. Griffin with the poster to start the game as he just barely beats the shot clock. Griffin has been the best scorer for Portland through the first 3. We'll see if the Blazers can get another big game out of him today as Wembanyama responds for the Spurs, and that'll put them on the board. Here is Shaedon Sharpe with it. Gets it over to Kristaps Porzingis. Back to Sharpe in the corner, looking for some room on the wing. Hits the 3, and Shaedon Sharpe's got 5 early. Sharpe looking for a big game as he's been inconsistent throughout this playoff series so far. Griffin, Springer, his 3 is good on the left wing. That was super contested as well, but Darius Springer knocks it down. Shot over 40% from 3 this year. Quite the far cry from his sub-30 percentage from deep as a rookie a few years ago. Romano hits the jumper. It's now 10-8. Another super low-scoring game so far. Both defenses are playing really well. Both offenses are lacking rhythm. Good play there by Springer on the second chance layup, and it's 12-8. I feel like through all 3 games, the Spurs have been on top consistently, even though Portland's won 2 of them. As Wembanyama hits the jumper, I'm curious to see if the Spurs can get out to another lead, and if it's even going to matter, being that they've blown away 2 of these first 3 games. Romano, pick and roll, Wembanyama with the slam, and we are tied at 12. Now 14-12, Blazers ahead. Logan out to Springer, drives in, Springer! With the slam and a good defensive play originally there by Zay Logan. Logan was great in the first 2 games of this series. Didn't score in Game 3, but the Blazers still feel like he's one of their 8 best players and deserves postseason minutes. Levine with a long 2. It's now 16-14. Here's Simons. Crossover. Throw down. Hum diddly dee. Anthony Simons with the dunk. If the Blazers can get a big game from Anthony Simons, that would be massive. Simons has struggled in each of the first 3 games against the Spurs. Let's see if the Blazers can get him hot tonight. There's Zay Logan in for the dunk, and he is on the board with a slam. Blazers now up by 6. The offense seems to be getting some energy, and the defense is continuing to be really good. Nice move there by LaJason Black as he spins in for a layup. 4-point game, under a minute left in the first. Simons out to Zay Logan. Open lane, open slam again. Someone's got to be there to defend Zay Logan, who leaves Sabonis in the dust and sends it down. The second-year forward out of Alabama State makes it a 6-point game. Here's Black with it on the wing. Gets the screen. LaJason Black hits the 3, cuts the lead in half for the Spurs. Black with it here in the waning seconds of the first quarter. Gets the screen from Sabonis. 3 for the tie is good. Back-to-back triples for LaJason Black, and we're knotted up at 22. Simons will get the last shot for Portland for the lead. It is no good. 22-22, another low-scoring start. In the NBA playoffs, teams clamp down defensively, and boy, has that been the case for both of these teams. Into the second quarter, Black with it for the Spurs. He sends it inside with a dime for Xavier Tillman, who makes the short shot inside. Knotted up at 24 now. Wembanyama brings it up for 3. It's good. Porzingis was not expecting him to shoot. He was prepared for the drive, but don't forget, Victor Wembanyama is a knockdown three-point shooter. Simons, pick and pop. Porzingis 3. Ties it at 29. So Kristaps Porzingis gets a 3 right back, and we're knotted up. Here's Agbaji inside. Hands it off to Porzingis, out to Simons. Step back, triple is good. It's been a struggle for Simons so far in the playoffs, but he's off to a good start today with 7, including that great shot. Black gets that one over Anthony Simons. But Jason Black is looking really impressive so far, as it's only a 1-point game. Zach LaVine over to Wembanyama. Another 3 for the lead. Victor Wembanyama has the Spurs up by a pair. Black now brings it up the floor, hoping to get some space. Bigger than Scoot Henderson, takes advantage of the mismatch. Black is a 6'8", 6'9" combo guard, and his ability to move at his size is really impressive, as he is intercepted by Darius Springer. Springer out to Agbaji in the corner. Scoot Henderson, long 2, is good. Nothing but net for Scoot, who's off to a quiet start. Only 4 points so far. Here's Black with it on the screen. Another 3. Another bucket for the Jason Black. And the Spurs continue to shoot the 3 ball better than the Blazers have. Here's Scoot, drives left side. Simons contested 3. That one's good. Another triple for Anthony Simons. And man, he looks so much better than he did in the first 3 games. Scoot Henderson drives. Simons with it. Step back. Long 3 is good. Do you guys smell that? It's getting hot in here. I smell a fire from Inferno, who's made 3 threes over the last few minutes. Scoot Henderson with the layup. Blazers up by 3. Logan with it. Gets it over to Darius Springer. Drives inside. Springer with the slam. What a play there by Darius Springer. And Portland's offense is going on another run. Is this possibly sustainable? Shaedon Sharpe with the screen. Fade away. 3 ball is good. Portland looks re-energized. The offense was asleep at the wheel in the first quarter, and right now, man, they are cooking with gas. Wembanyama responds, though, for the Spurs, bringing us back within 6. Here is Springer. Pump fake. Scoot Henderson blows by the defender. Passes it over to Shaedon Sharpe. Open lane. Too easy! Victor Wembanyama, the victim of that poster by Shaedon Sharpe. 49-41 with around 2 minutes to go in the first half. Here's White out to Wembanyama. His 3rd triple at the quarter. Nice response there by the Spurs. Good defense by Zay Logan. Not really anything he could have done there. Tillman's shot is no good. Another rebound for Springer, who's damn near got another double-double. 9 and 8. Simons to Griffin. Griffin to Simons. 3 ball is good. Anthony Simons with 4 threes here in the first half. He looks like a new man right now. Griffin. Agbaji open 3. That one's good. And Ochai has the Blazers up by 11 all of a sudden. This run has been sustainable for the Blazers. They have been unreal over the last 5 minutes. Sabonis gets the Spurs a much-needed basket back within single digits. 55-46 now. Here's Kobe White with it. White gets some space. He hits the 3. And the Spurs, similar to the first half of the last game, are getting some shots together late to give them some more momentum. Agbaji drives inside. Layup is good. And the foul! And 1 for Ochai Agbaji. He would miss the 3 throw, though. 57-50 now. Final seconds of the first half. Josh Hart, jumper, no good. A really good second quarter there for the Blazers. They scored 35 in the second after only getting 22 points in the first quarter as they lead 57-50. The big difference has been easily Anthony Simons as we take a look at the playoff bracket. Look at the top left. The number 1 seeded Houston Rockets trail 3-0 against the Suns. Who could have seen that one coming? So the winner of this series, hopefully us, may very well not have to play against the Rockets, avoiding the number 1 seed in the conference, and instead play against Phoenix. Interesting development. Obviously, our focus right now has to still be on the Spurs as Wembanyama gets the block here to start the 3rd quarter. On the other end, looking to make it a 1-score game. He does with the layup. The Spurs have to pick it up. The Portland offense looks really good all of a sudden, and the Spurs got to look better on defense as Porzingis draws the double. Somebody's going to be open. It's Darius Springer who hits the 3. Big shot for the Blazers, who continue to shoot the long ball really well today. Pass is tipped by Springer. Ends up in the hands of Shaedon Sharpe. He gets it to Scoot Henderson on the move. Launch shot is good. Back-to-back threes for the Trailblazers, and they are right back up by 9. Kobe White with it on the wing. Gets it over to Wembanyama. Floats it up and in, and we are back within 7. So, contrary to the other games, it's now the Blazers who seem to have control, and their offense is not letting up. Another 3. Scoot Henderson with back-to-back tray balls as it's 66-58. Springer now on the drive. He gets it over to Khalil Griffin. With this big run, Griffin's been silent. He only has 4 points today, believe it or not. Here is Springer out to Griffin. Drives in, makes the layup, and now Khalil Griffin is starting to heat up. With Griffin now in a little bit of a groove scoring-wise, how are the Spurs going to stop this team? Sabonis makes the layup off the pick and roll. Lead is back down to 12. 72-60. Blazers up. Griffin, jumper on the move. That one's good. And Khalil Griffin is really starting to find his groove. 6 points here in the third quarter. Romano drives right side. He's blocked. Logan with a hand on it. Scoot to Abaji from the logo. Bang! Look at that score. This game is turning into a blowout. The Blazers lead at 79-64. Scoot Henderson fouled on the 3. Number 1 rule of defense, don't foul the jump shooter, especially when you're down by 15. Scoot would make 2 at the line. Following another basket, the Blazers lead by 19 as Wembanyama is in for a much-needed San Antonio dunk. But I think it's fair to say the Spurs are in trouble. Trailing in the series 2-1. They are getting rocked right now by the Blazers. Remember, this game was tied after the first quarter. And ever since then, the Blazers' offense has been on another level. 85-66. Black loses it. Simons with the steal on the other end. Inside for Abaji, who hammers it home. And the Blazers lead by 21 points. The biggest lead either team has had in this 4-game series so far. The Spurs get one back, though. An and one for LaJason Black. It's Simons with the foul. 87-69, under a minute left in the third. Wemby guarded by Ochai. That is a mismatch and a half. Wembanyama gets the layup. 17-point game. Final seconds of the third quarter. Blazers looking to end this quarter out on a bang. Sharpe off the screen. Open in the corner. Long 2. On the move is good. 16 points for Sharpe, and he's done it in a much more efficient manner than he has over the last couple of games. Black from half court gets it to the rim, but it's no good. What a quarter for the Blazers. They outscore San Antonio by 12. They lead by 19 going into the fourth, looking to close this one out easily. The Spurs aren't going to give up quite yet. LaJason Black, who's been on another level tonight, hits the 3. He's been fantastic. Springer, rather than the easy shot, goes for the pass. Simons misses the open 3. Doesn't matter. Springer with the offensive rebound. Simons on the drive. Layup is good. This is why it pays to have good rebounders on your team for second chance opportunities like this. The Blazers have been so good on the offensive glass in both games 3 and 4. Scoot Henderson makes the layup. Lead back up to 18. LaJason Black. Pump fake. Guarded by Scoot as he gets that one. The Spurs got to run through LaJason Black. He's been their best offensive player tonight. They've got to continue to utilize him. Scoot Henderson looking for some room. Drive. Layup is good. Scoot Henderson started the game off slowly, but in the second half, he's been so good. Big piece of why the Blazers have gotten hot as Griffin gets the snuff. What a play. Wide open for 3. Simons. Bang! Another triple for Anthony Simons, his 5th of the game. He's got 23 points tonight. Blazers lead 101-80. Romano inside. Nice layup. Spurs continuing to try to hang around, but they're not digging into this deficit, and, well, obviously that's a problem if they want to win this game. Levine 3. That one's good, and the lead is down to 18. 103-85. Sharpe out to Abaji. Back to Sharpe. Pump fake. Drives in. Too easy. Bullying. Malachi Branham. We're back to 20. Abaji brings it up with under 5 to go. His pass is intercepted by Malachi Branham. Open lane. He gets the easy slam. And the Spurs are back with an 18. Make it 16. Are they trying to make this a game late? Wemby out to Romano. Inside. Layup is no good. That was an easy one there for Josh Hart. On the other end, Scoot Henderson over Wembanyama for 3. Bellissimo. Big shot for Scoot. 19-point game. Porzingis is doubled. Gets it to Scoot. Back to Porzingis. Looking to take advantage of the size mismatch. Even though he had the double team, he's still in for the layup. And that's just going to do it. The Spurs don't have any more ammo left in them. And the Blazers lead this series 3-1, taking both games on the road in very different ways. Game 3, a defensive slugfest with a game-winning dunk by Scoot Henderson. And here in Game 4, it was a lot different. The Blazers scored nearly 100 points in the final 3 quarters of this game. The offense started slowly, but once we got into the second quarter, we got hot, and we stayed hot for the rest of the game. This loss is not to the fault of Wembanyama. He had 42 points. LeJason Black also had 26 on absurd shooting splits in only 14 minutes. These two guys really carried the load for the Spurs offense, scoring 68 of their 97 points. I don't know why the Spurs didn't play Black more. It was obvious that he was on a roll since the beginning of the game, and he only played 14 minutes. I really don't get it at all. Nobody else had more than 7. Nobody else shot higher than 50%. The role players for the Spurs let these guys down in a major way. As for the Blazers, it was the opposite. Spreading the ball around, 6 guys in double figures, 3 guys with more than 20. Anthony Simons came to play. He was great. The three-point shooting from the entire team was great. Simons with 25. I wish he was a little less streaky, but it's nice having games where he can take over as a scorer. 22 for Sharp, 21 for Scoot, 17 for Ochai, 12, 10, and 7 for Griffin, 12 and 14 for Springer, although he wasn't that efficient, 5 of 13 from the field. Overall, great day offensively. The three-point shooting was brilliant, almost 50% from beyond the arc. Obviously, we can't expect to shoot the three ball that well, but it's very encouraging to see after our struggles from deep over the first 3 games. So with that, the Portland Trail Blazers lead the series 3-1. Next episode's going to be Game 5. We'll see if we can finally get past our kryptonite, beat the Spurs, and possibly avoid the Houston Rockets in the second round. This episode really could not have gotten better. We play well, we get healthy, and the Rockets appear to be in a lot of trouble. That's going to wrap up the episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.